YouTube, man? Back again with another video. I just literally woke up, got out of bed, brushed my teeth, threw on a hoodie, and started recording, man. So if my eyes look puffy or they red or something like that, or I look exhausted, it's because I am. I just woke up. So today, this first video for today is just gonna be basically kind of like a little Q&A. I have people ask me questions on Twitter and Instagram. I got some questions from Instagram too. I'm just gonna read off those questions and just basically, you know, respond to the questions. So let's just hop right into it. So the first question was, what made you get into YouTube? Honestly, I feel like I've been on YouTube like heavy since like 7th, 8th grade, like as far as just like watching, like having people I actually watch. And it was like a range of different people. It was people like Pretty Boy Fredo. He was really like the first prevalent YouTuber that I was watching, like Pretty Boy Fredo, because at the time, like going into like high school and stuff, like 8th grade, going into high school, that's when I really started like being on the game for real, like with my partners and stuff, and just playing 2K heavily, like after football practice coming home. Like that's what I was like mainly doing, because back then I was so locked in on football and just like chilling out the way. I had a girlfriend at the time too, so like if I wasn't chilling with her, I was at the crib, or I was with my partners, like my main guys. And we wasn't really just like the type to be like at parties and stuff like that. Like we was like doing our own thing, chilling, or like if we was doing something, we was either chilling with females or just finding something to do to keep ourselves entertained. So, you know, that was more the way that I was on back then. And yeah, just watching people like him, I was doing kind of the same thing. So I was actively watching another person do the same thing that I did, but he was just getting paid for it. And it took me a long time to really get into it, because I was just kind of like, I just felt like I didn't have the confidence to do it, because nobody back then was doing YouTube in Dallas area, I think. Like, I didn't really see too many Dallas YouTubers, so it would have been kind of like, I would have felt like I was a lone wolf, and it would have been something that was like hard to just kind of for me to commit to, because I feel like a lot of people would have been like looking at it weird. But then again, me looking back on it, like I didn't really just have people that just looked at me as like being like a weird person. Like most of the people that I knew from high school really just was genuinely cool with me. So, and I had a lot of friends in high school. So I think it probably would have worked in my favor if I would have started back then and then built my way up now to like, because I started YouTube 2 years ago. So if I would have been doing it from the time I was like watching like Pretty Boy Fredo and DDG and Oprah Side, and you know, back when Queen and Chris was together and stuff like that. If I would have started back then, that wave, like by now, I think I would have definitely been where I wanted to be. But that's just what really made me get into it. I'm watching the people that do the same things that I'm interested in every day get paid for it from the comfort of their home. Like they're not going to a job they don't like. They work on their own schedule. They don't have to, you know, depend on having somebody else be the reason they pay their bills as far as getting fired or laid off, whatever the case may be. Like, I just started thinking about all that stuff, because once you get to the age I'm at now, you kind of like be on your own and you see how the world works. Like, you kind of really start putting things into perspective. I feel like if I had done YouTube a long time ago, like I said, I would be in a spot where I would want to be at now. But, you know, everything happens on God's timing for a reason. So, you know, I've been doing it for 2 years. I still don't feel like I'm at the level yet that I want to be at as far as like my comfort level when I get behind the camera, because even though I got like 116, 117 videos on my channel, I still don't always feel like confident when I'm on the camera. I just feel like I'm not used to it yet still. I don't know why that is. Like, I don't know. It might not seem that way, but that's really how it is. And yeah, that's just really the reason why I got into it though. I just want to be able to make my own schedule and change my family life and stuff like that. Because for me personally, if I can become something more than the average person, doing something that I genuinely like doing, which is playing a game or just getting on here talking about sports or just other stuff that I'm into, it's a broad audience around the world. So that's how I have to think too. Like my mindset was like, okay, it's billions of people in the world. There's thousands of TikTokers, influencers on Instagram that are on the platform YouTube. Like, and just billions of people in general, like, that are on YouTube that watch every single day. So I'm looking at all these different YouTubers that are like big YouTubers. There's always people like that I know casually, just even my main partners, they come up like, hey, you watch such and such? I'm like, nah, who is that? And you go to their YouTube and they already got like 500K subscribers or 1 million subscribers. Like, it's enough room for everybody on the platform to be successful and be what you want to be. And there's an audience to everything. There's videos for everything. You don't have to be a YouTuber that's like a prank YouTuber or like a trendy YouTuber that does like the Pop Your Balloon or the 20 versus 1. Like, you don't have to be that type of influencer on YouTube. You can be a YouTuber that does lifestyle stuff. You can be an ASMR. Like, there's so many different things. You know how many people get on YouTube late at night and just watch like people eat food or just do weird stuff, like normal everyday stuff. Like, there's like literally everything you can think of in the world, there's YouTube for it. You feel me? So that was another reason too. Like, I could get on here and do whatever I want, whatever I feel like I'm comfortable with, whatever I feel like people will actually want to hear or relate to. I know there's at least, you know, a large sum of people around the world that can relate to the stuff that I'm talking about, or will be interested in at least hearing it or watching it, what I'm talking about. They'll be interested because there's billions of people in the world. You know what I'm saying? So that's another reason why I got into it too. Like, just me knowing that it'll all work out, just have to be consistent and stuff like that. So to sum all that up, you know, that's the reason why I started YouTube. I just been watching it for the longest. And I'm like, man, I've been watching I literally watched DDG go from college to living in LA to buy his first like dream car. He bought the i8. Then I think he bought the G-Wagon next. Then he bought the Rolls Royce. Then he moved and got another condo. I just like gradually watched him level up over all the years. And I'm like, bro, I literally watched him do this. And I'm saying I could have been doing this the whole time. Even with the Minorities. I don't know if y'all watched the Minorities, but they were a big influence too in why I started YouTube, because they was going to parties and stuff like that, and they was vlogging it and recording it. And me personally, I was, like I said, we didn't party a lot, but we definitely was into a lot of stuff. That's all I'm gonna say. We did a lot of stuff that I feel like, and our personalities together would have been good to just for people to watch, because, you know, people already thought that we was funny anyway. Like, so it would have already been like lit if we was just spreading everything around the whole world. Then we had our own lingo. Like, we was putting people onto our own lingo, or like around just high school. So I feel like we definitely would have blew up now, because you watch people like Prom, they got the whole, oh, that's OC, like, oh, she tough. Like, they got all that going right now. And really everywhere, not even just Houston, but everywhere. And they from Maryland, you know what I'm saying? Kind of when you just want to do something, put your mind to it, that's just kind of what it is, I feel like. Another question somebody asked, they were like, how do you deal with the negative comments that people leave on social media? I don't know what you're talking about. I haven't really gotten that much of it because I'm not like that big of a YouTuber yet. But I will say that, like, people saying stuff, like commenting negative stuff, like, it don't bother me. Like, especially because, like, when I grew up, like, everything at lunch was firing you up based. Like, you was getting fired up at lunch if you was, like, you was getting talked about regardless, whether it be at lunch, in the hallways, like, recess, whatever the case may be, like, elementary school, even middle school growing up, like, people got scolded on all the time. So you had to have thick skin. I feel like even when I transferred over to like Mesquite ISD, like, it was still like people were still scoring on you and stuff like that. So you got talked about. Even if you was like a smooth looking guy, or you had like good shoes and stuff like that, people was still scoring you, because if you ugly, you gonna know about it. We had a dude at my high school, his name was Ugly Man. Like, that was literally his nickname, was Ugly Man, and he was ugly as shit. So it was fitting, but you know, people are gonna talk about you, and he eventually he would score back on people, and he would talk shit about people too. So like, he would fire you up, and he was ugly as shit, but he would fire you up too. If you wasn't coming with nothing good enough, he would fire you up, and people would be honest and say that he won. So it's just about having thick skin, honestly. And I feel like you want people to get under there and say negative stuff, because that means that they're actually watching and engaging. I would rather somebody comment something negative and say something rather than not saying something, because at the end of the day, when you're doing like content, your main goal is to get interaction from people, or just get people to talk about it and tune into it. That's the only way it's going to spread out to more people that's going to be more positive, have more positive things to say about it. So I don't mind people saying negative stuff. If anything, I know I could say something 10 times worse, but I don't feed into it. I usually like people's comments who are saying negative stuff. That lets them know that I'm seeing what they're saying, so they're just going to continue to do it. So that means they're going to continue to watch. So that's ultimately what I want them to do. I just want them to continue to watch my videos. So yeah, that's all I'll say on that. Another question was, I'm not answering that. The next question was, if you were to start a business, what type of business would you start and why? Honestly, it'd be like some type of investment, like whether it be investing into something that's already established, or it'll be like real estate, something like that. That's kind of the business that I would go into, like my own real estate business or something like that. And I basically say that because I eventually want to get to the point to where my money works for me. Like I don't want to just do YouTube, but I definitely want to have assets and a lot more, you know, passive income streams than just one. So I would definitely say like something like real estate, or, you know what I'm saying, something like that. Because one person said, I have a hard time making friends. What is your advice to making friends? I don't know, man. You just got to network. That's the power of making friends, I feel like, especially at the age that we at now. I'm assuming you're like in your 20s. Well, yeah, I know you're in your 20s. But yeah, honestly, it's just about networking, bro. Like, you got to get out of your comfort zone. I know a lot of people, especially females, have a problem with, you know, social anxiety and stuff like that. But the main thing too, and then we're too worried about, you know, people being genuine and stuff like that. You got to be more accountable as far as reading people. And we as adults have to be better at taking accountability of knowing who we're going to allow to have our energy and who's not going to have our energy. So if you might meet somebody that you thought that you would be cool with and y'all weren't cool with, just, I mean, cut them off and move on. There's, like I said, about the whole YouTube thing, there's billions of people in the world. So just get out and network. Don't be afraid to get out and like be nice to people. I feel like the whole thing now, people just want to be so distant and mean, and I'm going through something, so I got to always be, you know, a dick and stuff like that. Like, you don't always have to be like that, bro. All you have to do is just network in order to find friends. I feel like it's easier for guys for sure than it is for females, but that don't really make sense for real. Like, why make it hard as a woman to make friends when y'all are the ones who rule the world? Like, the world works and revolves around women. I don't think, like, a lot of y'all don't understand the power that y'all have. So if y'all were to unite instead of always like clashing heads, like, y'all would be way more like lit than what y'all are. And I feel like it's a lot easier for women to make money. So I feel like y'all should honestly be definitely teaming up and being friends. Like, especially if y'all are content creators, like, women, y'all should definitely be linking up and being more friends. Like, so I think networking is just really the way to do it. Like, you just got to kind of start going out. Like, I would say to like events. Like, I know in Dallas right now, it's a new run club going on. So if you got like something like that in your city or your area, just like join a run club and just like start a conversation with somebody. You'll never know where it leads. Like, a lot of times too, networking leads to opportunities. So I would say, you know, that's the best way I would feel like to find friends is networking. Even though with me, I'm still pretty much cool with like the same like people that I was like cool with in high school, but I definitely networked in college and I made friends in college. So if you got a hard time just finding friends, especially if you're just trying to go out and do stuff, you just got to just go out and network, or just, I don't know, find people that's in the same space or area that you in, join groups or something on Facebook. There's a lot of different ways to make friends. So that would be my advice on that. Somebody asked me, what is the hardest part about doing YouTube? I think the hardest part about doing YouTube, honestly, is just being consistent with it, because especially for me, I'm not monetized yet. So like, this is not my main like job or nothing yet. So the hardest part is just being consistent, because you got to have the energy to come on here and be as authentic as you can as far as like your reaction to something, or just what I'm giving out to y'all as the content. I have to be in the best mind state to be able to do it. So that's probably the hardest part, is just being consistent, because I got, you know, my job and then whatever else that's going on in the world. So I have to be like mentally clear of all that before I get on camera and start to talk to y'all about whatever it is I'm talking to y'all about. So I feel like that's kind of my take on that. What are some of your top 3 places you want to travel right now? So top 3 travel places I want to go. One, I'm gonna say Greece. Greece is just, it don't look real. Greece looks like it's out of a different universe or something. Greece is just too beautiful. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. you know, what God was thinking when he made Greece, but he definitely was on something because Greece just looks like paradise to me. Just how the structure is set up and everything, and just the water, the views, the vibes. It's just too immaculate. So Greece is definitely number one for sure for me. Number two, I would have to say like Bora Bora. I think Bora Bora is always a place that will sit in my top 3 of places I want to travel, just because it's so tropical. Like the way it's set up, the little huts on the water. Like I definitely want to go and see what that's like. And number 3, I definitely want to say I'm in between two. One of the places is a place that like I always wanted to go, is like when I was younger, until I started learning about more places. But I still want to add it in. So my number 3 is actually gonna be 2. So it's gonna be 4 technically. So number 3, I got Bali slash Hawaii. I'm tripping, I couldn't think. So number 3, I have Bali slash Hawaii. Those are the 2 I want to go to just to experience. And I got my passport like a year and a half ago. So I need to start using it. Even though I still got a long time to use it, but I'm itching to use that. So I'm probably gonna take a trip out the country pretty soon. So yeah, those are my top 3. Somebody said, are you single, and what's the best part about being single, if so? So yeah, I'm single. I feel like the best part about being single, in my opinion, is just the freedom that you have and the less stress that you have to deal with us, like a person every single day. I know people that be in relationships and they be stressed as a time where they be like into it with their girlfriend or boyfriend for like a week straight, or just times where like you come home and like she may be mad at you for something so small, or it might be a misunderstanding. Like I don't have to deal with like extra added on stress and stuff like that. You know, it definitely is like good sides to being like in a relationship too, because like everybody definitely wants somebody that they can like, you know what I'm saying, live life with and grow and do stuff and learn stuff together, travel, make money together, obviously start a family. You know, everybody want that, but it's a lot harder nowadays, man. You gotta, you know, most of the girls, they only want dudes for what they can provide. So just knowing that a lot of the stuff nowadays ain't genuine, I don't really mind being single. You know, nowadays you gotta deal way more with the fact of you gonna be with somebody for a short amount of time and you really just gonna be benefiting them. I feel like relationships, honestly, nowadays too, are only beneficial mainly for the women, just because of the way that they have it set up now and how they, you know, doing what they doing. Like I said, most females nowadays only want you for what you can do for them. So whether it be paying their bills or providing a lifestyle that they couldn't do for themselves, that's really what the relationship comes down to nowadays. Or really just popping in for social media. Like a lot of people like just look good or just both have a certain amount of popularity and they get together just because they know it's gonna make them more money or grow. So a lot of it don't be genuinely based. So I would say that's just like the benefits, I think, to just being single, is just knowing that you ain't gotta be you know, used by somebody or, you know, deal with stress or having to argue and stuff like that. That's just my thing. All right, the last question that I'm gonna do is, somebody asked me, what is your favorite place to eat when you back home? Oh, that's hard. I ain't gonna lie. I like to eat, man. I ain't gonna lie. I like to eat. I love good eats. It ain't nothing like breaking bread. So it's gonna be hard for me to just choose one. But if I would have to say one, a lot of y'all gonna say I'm bougie and stuff like that, but I don't care. Pappadeaux. When I got put on the Pappadeaux, that became my favorite restaurant. It's just something about them. Like what I get, well, I don't think it's on the menu no more, but what I used to get was called the Salmon Yvette with no mushrooms. I got the big one, the big plate. You gotta go dumb when you go to Pappadeaux. I got the big salmon with the dirty rice and the shrimp on top with the little sauce or whatever sauce they put on the dirty rice is, and the fish and all that is like crack. Like it's sweet, and you mix that dirty rice into it too. Like just mix it in all in one. Oh my God, that should go dumb. I'm not gonna lie. So Pappadeaux, it used to be Razzoos, but that was when I had my partner in crime that I was going with all the time. So, you know, after me and my partner in crime split up, it was just it was just me dolo. I kind of stopped rocking with them. But I would definitely say Razoo still, and Texas Roadhouse. You can't beat Texas Roadhouse. Texas Roadhouse go crazy. Obviously for the rolls, but I always get the ribs or the ribs and critters. That's like my go-to. My cousin, she said that the salmon there is good. I haven't tried it yet, but those are like my top three. Pappadeaux, Razoo's, and Texas Roadhouse. Those are like my top three, but it ain't nothing like that Pappadeaux. And my birthday coming up, so I might treat myself to a nice Pappadeaux meal when I go back to the crib, because out here in Austin, I don't think there's no Pappadeaux. I think there might be one, but it's far as shit, so I might just say Pappadeaux when I go back to the crib, man, and eat that with my family and stuff like that. So, yeah, man, that's going to be it for this video. To everybody that asked questions, I appreciate y'all. Hopefully, you know, y'all questions that I gave y'all, or the answers that I gave y'all to y'all questions, y'all fuck with. And, yeah, man, like I said, I appreciate y'all for watching. We on the road to 5,000 subs now, man. We already hit 1,000. Now we on the road to 5,000, man. So I appreciate y'all for watching. It's been your boy. I'm gone.